Hi, I'm Bob.
I'm Cheetah.
And this is our bus, Frank the Tank. Would you like to take a tour?
Sure.
So Frank is a 2006 Freightliner chassis with a Caterpillar diesel engine. We bought it basically from Riverside County School District with 120,000 miles on it. Also has an Allison automatic 4-speed transmission. So we converted this bus in about 6 weeks. Ourself, like a lot of other people's lifestyles, changed pretty dramatically overnight. The bus was sitting in our driveway. We'd been tinkering around with it for weeks, and we got the notice that we were going to be moving out. And so in 6 weeks, we took it down to nothing and put together what we could in 6 weeks. We feel we're about 60–70% done, but we love it so much, and we've been on the road for 7 months nonstop, that we really don't want to stay put long enough to finish things. That's probably going to change soon. We're going to add a few things, but at this point, what you see is about 60% of what we think. So my wife's favorite part of the bus is our daughter did our countertop, and it's a piece of oak. It came from a tree not far from home. And this thing probably weighs about 300 pounds because it's 2 inches deep. She made a box and epoxied it, but what she did different was she flipped the live edge to the inside, and so the live edge runs the distance, but it runs on the inside. The way it was going to be on the outside, it was going to run in and out, and I was probably going to bump into it in the middle of the night and hurt myself. So she put it on the inside. She put it in this hides the dirty dishes, as you can see. It's also kind of a chopping block, but I get scolded if I use it as a chopping block because I'll have to sand out the marks. And what this also does, it holds down the noise of the cabinet as we bounce down the road. That was an unintended consequence. This thing weighs about 40 pounds, and it holds the cabinet down really solid as we're going down the road, which eliminated a lot of noise.
Well, I like the live edge with the clear down through.
Yeah, it's really unique.
I haven't seen anybody. I've seen it online where people have done that and put a string of LED lights underneath, so it lights up.
Yep. Yeah, there's all kinds of fun
My
things.
next bus.
My next life. Yeah, really what we did is we took things that we had access to quickly. This was a cabinet or a dresser out of a bedroom, and we cut a leg off, moved it over, so that we could fit. We actually have a bigger ice chest than this that actually will go here. We got out of town so fast that we didn't even get our electrical finished. We plumbed it. We did it all ourselves except for the electrical because I don't want to die. So we hired an electrician, and I had him put everything on the outside of the walls. I liked the look is really the reason I did it. And so I don't know. I think people should consider that concept, because with buses, the construction is always in flux. It's one less thing you have to worry about when you're tearing walls down, because we all eventually do. So we got that on the outside, but we have a 30 amp cord on the outside, which is the way we plug in. But I mean, we've been to, in 7 months on the road, we've been to, I don't know, 4 RV parks where we plugged in. We really avoid for cost for one sake, but we just find we get interaction with a lot of very interesting people, and we just enjoy, not being cramped so close to each other. So everything we have is basically on batteries as far as electrical goes. So this one we just put in, we have a couple of these. We charge them on a USB. We charge off of our battery with a little inverter that we bought on the internet. And these are Costco lights, and these things light this place up. And they also have a sensor on them, so you could actually use them as motion detectors, which I thought was pretty cool for a small amount of money. And since your entire bus is one giant magnet, there's magnets everywhere. We hang everything with magnets. There's an LED strip behind here that when we're plugged in we use, but otherwise everything kind of, we hang calendars with magnets. We hang as far as our showering goes, this is my wife's idea, and I was really skeptical, but it works. So we actually hang a shower curtain around here. It's just a shower curtain with loops on it. We hang it around here so it drapes down. Drapes into a bucket that's about this tall, that is a little bigger than our feet. I will say it's small, and it draped, and the curtain drapes into that. We put a 2.5 gallon bucket in here. We heat the water on the camp stove, put it in the bucket, and then we bought a shower pump that comes, I think it's actually for camping, and it also it's juiced up on USB, which is great. And it's a screwy system, but I'm telling you, and I have people that do this for a living on the road will tell you how little amount of water you really need in this life. Yep. It's amazing. The two of us to shower, even if she's washing her hair, you're talking 2.5 gallons tops. And I use 1.5 gallons, and most of the time I've got some left over. It's amazing how little amount of water, when you're not standing there singing, you really go through. So it drapes into the pan. We take the pan, we find a spot outside, use biodegradable soap, dump it outside, take it all down.
Is that your pump for your sink?
Exactly. So this is just, we bought a marine pump. So just a marine style pump that I put in. So you pump on it. Again,
that's nice.
It also reduces the amount of water you go through because you have to physically do it.
Sure.
So, it's like, how long do I have to do this? So you only do as much. So we use this water for dishes and for the dogs. And we store the water in, these are basically 5 gallons. So we got 2 5-gallon containers. Goes in, comes out, pumps out the top. And my wife got her thing that she really likes so that she can do dishes, and she said she would do dishes a lot faster if we bought this, so we did. I do the cooking, she does the dishes, and life stays good. Simple curtains screwed on, that, she put together. Bought a trifold mattress from Costco, and so it folds down, and it's 3 pieces. So our daughter actually built this as well, and so this slides out, and probably seen a lot of these out there. These are becoming popular. So this will slide out all the way out to here, and the trifold mattress just clunks down to 3 pieces, and then it's ready to go. Also, what that allows is your storage, and this is one of the many lessons that we learned, was really how little you need. And so this is about 3 weeks. In fact, it's more than 3 weeks of clothing for my wife. I have this on the other side, and I have rarely gone through all those clothes. And that's another thing I really encourage people who are considering this life, who have not been in a small situation, is to finish your bus about 60-70% of what, and do the absolutes. I need a sink, and I need a way to get water. I need a way to cook, I need a place to sleep. I need a bathroom situation. Figure the basics out, then go on the road and live. We probably saved thousands and thousands of dollars by not assuming these concepts we had of what we needed, because until you live that life, you really don't know. You get grand ideas. I gotta have 1,200 watts on the roof. I gotta have this, I gotta have that. And then you get on the road and you go, wow, we don't even use that thing. We don't even use a coffee maker anymore. We don't use these things. So why do that?
My late wife was a coffee drinker. I made her coffee in the morning so she would let me live one more day. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Right.
But the plan was, I had all kinds of really nice coffee making stuff for her. Got on the road, French press.
Right.
Simple.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. So.
And, but,
yeah. Here's the coffee maker. And at home we had one of the things with the pods in it. And we kind of thought in the beginning that's what you need. And then when it's like, no.
Right.
No. It takes up space, it uses energy, and it's...
Friends of mine, the Nomadic Movement, they're down in Panama now and have a coffee company. And I've visited the Costa Rica, watched how they make coffee. People who grow the coffee, how they make coffee. Yeah, you don't need all that equipment.
No.
They make a really good cup of coffee for those who drink coffee.
Yeah, exactly. It's for those who want to live one more day.
I wake up like this without coffee, which used to drive her crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my bus is, everything is 12 volt or USB. Yeah. Do I have a blender? Yeah, I got a little one. It charges up on a USB. What do I use it for? The occasional milkshake. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
No, one of my things I tell people, and I've seen this done, and I think it's a huge mistake. They take a home and they put it in a bus. That is exactly the opposite. If you're going for a lifestyle, you should do. Because if that was such a great idea, you wouldn't be leaving the home. So you need to construct a vehicle and a space based on the activity you're going to do. And you had a space that was based on being still. Now you're in a space that's based on moving and being in different climates. You're climate controlled, you're not climate controlled. So go and live it and then finish it.
For most of us, our climate control is the engine and the steering wheel.
Yes.
It's getting cold, I'm headed south. It's getting warm, I'm headed north.
Exactly. That's that one saying.
Sometimes that works. Yeah. Sometimes not so well.
It doesn't, because it changed. Like yesterday, out here at Schoolie 40-mile-an-hour winds, and today it's not.
Right.
And the summers we're finding are the most challenging.
2 days ago it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
Today it's 60s so far.
Yeah. It can be. We spent a lot of time at Lake Tahoe last year because that was the closest place we could get to with some elevation. Because back at home in California, it was 109. And unfortunately, we'd have to go back there and it would be miserable. And we get back on the road, but we were chasing 70-degree weather back then. And I think that's one of the sayings is, what are you doing? I'm chasing 70. That's all we do for a living, chase 70.
And the corollary to that is I'm running away from snow.
Right. Right, exactly. Yeah. So, it was just real basic. So also what we did is, again, and I was talking to some neighbors about this today. If I won the lottery tomorrow, we wouldn't do this different as far. So we bought a guy on the internet is making compost toilets for a couple $100. And yeah, I could have built it, but we were in a time crunch. And so all it is it's a bucket and urine diverter. Okay. And then we use sawdust and peat moss.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, you can, I was going to spend $1,200 on the Nature's Head, and if people want to do that, I get it. We didn't have the finances, and that was an area we could cut back on, and I'm not going to change it. I simply won't change it.
When we started doing the bus, my wife was disabled, and she told me, "You're not building a composting toilet. You're buying one." Then she passed away, so I built one. But a lot of it was finances. That cost a lot of money, and for less than $100, I built one.
Oh yeah, no, our friends at home think we're insane. They make jokes, and it is funny. They'll say, you shower in a bucket and you poop in a bucket, and what does this life come to? Well,
so do they. They just flush it away and think it's fancy.
Exactly. Yours just goes out of sight, out of mind. Somebody else is having to deal with it. It's not that big of a deal. I don't spend my life on the can, and I don't spend my life in the shower. Right. You're out doing stuff. And I tell people that are considering this lifestyle, and that's why I tell them to do 60% of your vehicle. It's about systems. Everybody's got a different system. So our system is we have water in jugs for the pets and for dishes, and then we buy our drinking water. Other people do it different. So we know that every 3 days I got to fill those up. So it's somebody's garden hose. It's a park. It's some of the rest stops in Arizona all have water. So we know. So as we're traveling, this system. I know I need to dump the compost toilet every 6 or 7 days. So you develop a system. Okay, what am I going to do with that? We have enough food for basically 3 or 4 dinners. And so every 4 days we go, and if we make sure the ice chest is closed up nice and tight, that's about the length we can get out of ice. So you just develop the system that works for you. And if you're a person that needs 50 gallons of water in a tank underneath and a black tank, that's fine. But don't assume you do until you get out on the road and you think, I can't deal with trying to figure out where to dump my compost toilet.
Right.
You know, because you might end up with the expense of a black tank and 50 gallons. You got 4 people in the bus? Okay. I thought I needed 50 gallons too, because I thought we were going to be out in the middle of nowhere and like really hunkered down and stuff. That's not what we do.
Right.
That was a concept I had in my head.
That's the beauty of this whole series, is that we get to see different ways people do things, different buses.
Right.
The thing that gets me with a composting toilet is when I hear somebody say, oh, I don't want to have to deal with all that poop. I have a black tank. Excuse me. Well, now you've got liquid poop.
Yeah, exactly.
And one fumble with a hose and you got a mess.
Yeah, no, I don't want to deal with the black tank. It's the exact opposite. I have as much disdain for a black tank as people have for a bucket. And I'm telling you, my bucket is not I mean, if it was an issue, like people think, doesn't it smell or doesn't it this or that? The bed is right here. And the toilet is that right there. When it's folded out, it's literally feet from our heads. I wouldn't know it's even there. I don't even know it's there. Why? Yeah. It's not an issue.
My bathroom is right there. It's 2 steps away from my bed.
Yeah.
Although I just told somebody if I did it again, I might put it up behind the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Only because as I'm driving down the road and all of a sudden I got to go, that 30 feet to the back of the bus is a long run.
It can't be. By the time you get the bus stopped.
Once I find a spot to stop and get unhitched from the seat and all that,
Yeah.
So
I don't know. That's what I just tell people. It's a life of systems, and where you're going to be, how you're going to be there, how you're going to fulfill the things you need to fit your lifestyle. Also, I really preach to people who aren't doing it full time but want to think outside the box. We operate a business from inside the bus, and we operate the business from being out on the road. We have 8 employees. But we thought outside the box, how can we structure this business? We took the money that we were going to have in office and we put it into this. We bought a wireless printer and we bought the things, but we don't have a monthly stroke on some office anymore. We learned to hire the right people so that we didn't have to babysit them. You know, not just hire anybody, but hire and pay them a little bit more because it's worth my peace of mind. I really feel that if people will step back, think about what they want to do, think about their skills and their interests, think outside the box, and maybe even analyze if you're able to do it from a remote location. I really feel that you can identify weaknesses in the market that competitors are having to put a lot of money into infrastructure and into certain things. And if you're out on the road doing it and you handle it a different way, you don't have to, and you'll be able to compete with those people no matter what their size is. Just think outside the box like you would when you're doing your bus. Take that kind of thought process into a business, and I think
just the fact that we're living in skoolies is we're definitely thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
The norm.
And the norm is to a person like that. Yeah.
Do you have any social media?
Yeah.
Present people want to get a hold of you, ask questions or whatever?
Yeah. So it's Frank the Tank _bus on Instagram, and I think that's the only one we have. We're not on Facebook.
Okay.
We just do that, and my wife handles a lot of that, and been on it for we put the build on. And then up to now 7 months in, and met, I can just say as a community, you won't meet better people. It's a cross-section of humanity, but generally just the nicest group of people, all ages, all socioeconomic, and we're all brought together by just this common vision of a
thing that I've found is if you go, for instance, a Walmart parking lot, and people spending the night, and you get, different RVs, and they'll be all over the place. So you'll see, Toyota Tioga over here and another one over there. Skoolies will pull up near each other just so we can say hi.
Oh yeah, yeah, happens all the time.
Yep.
We'll be in a parking lot by ourselves in some casino or somewhere, and I met a guy who pulled up next to us, and first thing he says is, "Hey, been to Schoolie Palooza?" You know, we started talking. Yeah, I was there last year. Oh, I didn't see you, this and that. And, but it's just this, you know, yeah, two people in a pop-up, you know, aren't gonna, you know, hey, you know, have that kind of thing. No, it's just automatic, like we're just like magnets to each other.
Because we've all been through the builds and everything else. So.
Right, and we're all looking for like little ideas. Everybody's got a little idea. Touring buses, coming out to an event where you can tour buses and pick little things apart can save you thousands and your time.
My son kids me about the fact that every once in a while I say, well, my next bus, because we all picking up all those ideas and they're all filing away, which is why I'm doing this series. So thank you for the tour and for the talk.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
I'll see you down the road.
Thanks.
Hope you enjoyed that video. And remember, there'll be another one next Saturday. So please tell your friends and hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you liked it. All right, see you next time, YouTube. Bye.